Well, let me welcome you to our series of interactions by telling you who I am. My name is Dr Kolade, and I've been a member of faculty in the Lagos Business School, and now I am Pro-Chancellor, Chairman of the Governing Council of the Pan-African University. But because we interact in this university atmosphere, I still share insights and knowledge with people, and so I've been called upon to facilitate this series on leadership, and I'm glad to welcome you to the series. We want to discuss leadership styles, the styles of leadership. And this is a subject on which there's a lot of literature almost suggesting that it's a difficult subject, but not really. The style with which a leader relates to the people he is leading is important because communication is a human activity. And sometimes when you communicate or try to lead in a way that is inappropriate, it can defeat the purpose of what you're trying to do. So for example, if in the family, let us say, if in the family the father or the mother is trying to show leadership to the children, there are certain styles that work very well. If the children feel that they are valued, that their dignity is preserved, that they're loved, that usually helps their ability to follow the leadership that is being offered. But let's come out of the family and look at everyday life, whether you're in an office or in a business or whatever. There are many styles. Let's look at a few of these styles. Now, if you read the literature on leadership styles, you'll find that leadership styles are called by different kinds of names. Now, so whatever names I use today are not the only names that are available in literature, but they're the names that we will use for this particular exercise. I talk first about what I call coercive style, the coercive style of leadership, in which the leader comes, gives orders, demands that people obey or comply with those orders, and sometimes has to almost bully them into compliance. Maybe there is some resistance, and the leader, for whatever reason, decides, I cannot tolerate this resistance, therefore I have to slap it down immediately. That's a coercive style. In that style, the leader is saying, through his body language, do what I tell you, full stop. The second style I want to look at is the authoritative style. Now, the authoritative is different from the coercive because this authoritative is making proper use of the authority of the leadership position. In other words, the authoritative position, the authoritative style is the one that says, look, we've agreed a vision. We've agreed where we want to go. We have defined the standards that will govern our work. Now, I am going to comply with those standards. I am going to do the things we agreed, and you must do the same. The leader is using the authority of agreement and example to get people to do what they should do. That's the authoritative style. There is thirdly what we call the affiliative style. Affiliative style in which the leader's central objective is to create harmony in the team, to build emotional bonds among the members of the team, to make sure that they work together in a way that they willingly do this. So the emphasis is to say, well, people come first. People come first, and if we get the people relating to each other the way they should, then things will happen the way that they ought to. That's a style that is often in use. There is also, fourthly, the democratic style. Now, as you know, democracy, we say, is the government of the people, by the people, for the people, and so on and so forth. Again, this is what gives people the initiative. We give them the initiative to participate in deciding what we shall do. We try to forge consensus. We try to make sure that they participate through consensus. We try to see that people develop a buy-in, as we say, buy-in to what we want to do. And so the leader will say, look, this is what we ought to be doing and so on, but what do you think? And if the major part of his team thinks we should do it differently, he will say to them, all right, let's try it your way and see if it works. There are three other styles I want to discuss. There is what I call the pace-setting style. Pace-setting is one in which the leader takes upon himself to set high standards for performance. And having set those standards for performance, the leader is the best exemplar of those standards. He is the one that is always showing the standards that we've agreed to follow. So he has a right to say, therefore, in the pace-setting style, do as I do, but do it now. So it's like authoritative, but it depends very much on the leader putting himself forward as the exemplar of the standards. There is, of course, the coaching style. Coaching style is like when you teach your child for the first time to ride a bicycle. You actually enter into the activity with the person you are leading, and you are helping them along as they go. Coaching means that you're developing your staff, you're counseling them, you're nurturing their ability by participating in a leadership role in what they do. Now, all of these styles that we have discussed, I hope you have seen that each one can be used in particular circumstances. Even the coercive, which is probably the most difficult to understand, even the coercive has its place. If the leader has tried every other style and nothing seems to work, but must get this work done within a certain specified time and to a certain specified standard, then the leader has to say, now listen, we've discussed this and you must now do what I tell you. So the coercive, the authoritative, the affiliative, the democratic, the pace-setting, and the coaching, each one has validity depending on the circumstances. And indeed, leaders will tell you that they can change styles. They can move from one style to another depending on the circumstances. So in your own leadership, as you go about your business, remember that there is no particular style that is better than others. Each style must be adopted depending upon the specific circumstances under which we are leading. And indeed, the best way to understand the leader's ability to lead is to assess his or her ability to move from one style to the other, but always focusing on the objective that needs to be achieved.